Well, sixth grade, here is your video for your art for this week. Project number 2, which is the palm tree sketch. And they give you an idea of what you might want to make it look like on the front page. And then you're going to go over here, and on the back side of that, you have the procedure of what to do. So you want to take your what do you call this thing? I forgot now. The viewfinder, okay, and you want to hold it up sort of against it so that you're only seeing certain parts of the picture itself. And the whole idea is to help you to focus on certain areas. And so they've got this, and then of course you've got the two different grips, the upright grip and the underhand grip. Now I have a nice set of pencils that I'm using for my art that I bought a long time ago at Costco, and so you can see my favorite one to use because it's the shortest one is this one right here. And in this particular case though, I'm going to choose a little bit different one. I think this is a softer style, and so this I think would work well with what we're doing. So as far as the sketching, when you're doing things, and of course one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to look, and I'm going to tear this out so I can have it, and I'm going to look at what I have here. And so you see how these lines are a little thicker, and so that's why I want it a little bit thicker, and you can see that matches pretty well with what I've got there. And so I'm going to take, they give you the basic lines for this. These are the lines that you're going to kind of put your we'll start with the trunk of the tree, and the trunk of the tree goes down here, and you're going to try to match generally what is up here, and then we'll do the fill in at first. So I'm going to go all the way up to about this point, and so they give you a little bit of a line to look for, and so where you want to eventually smooth it out to. And the idea with sketching isn't that so much that you have a perfect line. In sketching like this, you're going to have a lot of loose lines around. You should have some kind of an eraser though to help you in case you overdo it like I just did. And so what I'll do is I'll take my eraser that I have, and this one comes with a special eraser just for sketching, to erase this type of pencil, or these type of pencils. And so you can see that I can then take it and I can go up there. Now I'm going to stop about right there, and I notice that where this is showing me a little bit more of a thicker part. If you've ever seen a palm tree, you'll notice that there's a lot of this style of palms at the top where the leaves are coming out. There's a little bit more of this type of thing. Now I made it a little bit thick, so I'm going to cut it back a little bit. Now going back, and I'm going to fill in the trunk, and you see that basically there's a shade on this side, and so you see where the sun is. Now I'm not sure why the shade is over here. It should be all on this back side, but you get the idea. The shade is coming over here, so we'll shade this side a little bit darker as we're going through, and we're going to make the palm tree, the lines of the palm tree, which are fairly dark, where the palm tree bends. It's actually created from where the leaves were as it was growing, and so we have a we can fill in this whole thing, and I'm going to use my underhanded grip here just to fill this in. And you notice I don't have to fill it in perfectly, and so it should follow the line of the trunk though of how that's going. And so I'm going to fill this in. Now I can always go back and I can erase those ones that are to the outside of it, like I just did. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit darker on this side again. Just to thicken it up a little bit darker, so it gives that shade that's over there. And again, I'm just following, and of course you're not going to do it exactly like this, but you know, it gives you a good idea. You can already see it starting to take shape, and so I might add a little bit down here, some things where it hits the ground. We're going to add some grass and things. All right, and so make it a little bit sharper. you've ever noticed at the beach, usually the grass will come out of kind of a one area type thing, and so sort of make it the focus of where the roots are. They give you some here, and so it doesn't have to be. In fact, you don't want it exact or uniform because it always looks different. The grass will grow and it'll blow in different directions, and got some over here as well. You just do some lines and gives you a good idea of the grass that's there, and so you can see the where it's growing. I'm going to add another one here just because I think it needs to kind of fill in the space. And so, all right. So now I'm going to. There are a little bit darker areas that I'm going to add a little bit, and just to give some definition to the tree itself, because as we get higher, it should be a little darker on this side as we get up into this part of here. And then notice a couple of things. So if you notice this part of the hill is dark, and that makes sense because it's on the other side of where the sun is. This is a little bit lighter here, but they give you a kind of a reference point, and so that reference point, and so I'm going to use this and darken this a little bit and give myself, and then a little bit lighter as I'm coming over here. You can do this with any pencil. I'm going to add a little bit of shade in here, but not a lot. So you see it's a little bit lighter because that's where the sun is hitting it still. And then darken again over here as we get behind the hill here. And then so we got some lines in here as we're going up, just to give you a little bit of definition of the water and the reflection of the water, and so you've got a little bit of the shore, and didn't quite make that exactly right, but just a little swirls from where the water is hitting the shore, and on the shore, so I want to use that one, and then all right, and then a little bit of these lines again on this side. We get down here, and lighter as we get down here because you can't see it as easily. And then get to the branches, and the branches that are here. So you see these up here. You got the tall ones up there. And I'm trying to match basically what they have. And this, like I said, it's just a sketch. So you're just giving some definition to the actual palm leaves, and you notice how they basically fill this in. If you've ever seen, one of the reasons why you're not getting it as complete definition either is because the palm tree, it's at nighttime, and so you don't see everything that's there with it, and so this fills in here, and so we'll add that a little bit and make some darker lines for where the fronds, the branches of the fronds are. And you notice that so we'll fill in on the other part there, okay? And then we've got some more here, and just filling in there, and then got some branches coming out down this way toward the, gives you a good idea of what they want you to do. And then so you can see that just a little curl from the leaves themselves, and all right, and gives you an idea of that. And then you kind of got this one going. And then the last couple, this one has on both sides, has some fronds. And so these fronds that are on both sides. And then, of course, they have that angle, so where they come out. And where they gives you a good understanding of the branches. And then these branches sort of overlap each other down here. this one, you know, these kind of slide down this way. So there you have pretty fast, good sketch of the palm trees. I'm going to have to extend this one out because they've extended a line that wasn't even on this one. But you can kind of see how, which way do you think the wind is blowing according to the way that this looks. Okay, because it looks like basically the wind's blowing this way because you can see the leaves are all pointing that way in the fronds as well. But I'm going to add some on this side because I think that that gives it a little bit better visual part there for those leaves. And so there we have it. Fill in some of this and some of this area in here where the tree trunk goes out to, so that it, where all the branches branch off, so you can see it. So there we have a good decent sketch of what that should look like, and add the details in the grass, and maybe I'll add a little bit more across here just to give it some understanding that there are still some things there. All right, that's it, and hope you do well on your sketch. Bye.